What is going on, everybody? As you can tell, I'm in a different setup, but we are talking about some real shit today. Oh man. I'm also using my front camera, so if the quality's different, it is what it is, but we're in this bitch and we're going to talk and discuss the show The Penguin. Just got done with episode 5 and wow, this show is becoming one of my favorite shows, period. It is great. So if you haven't seen the new episode yet, go watch it before you watch this because I'm going to spoil the shit out of this show. I'm going to discuss this show. That's what we're doing here. I'm going to talk about the episodes leading up to this, and I'm also going to talk about the episode that I just watched, which, man, really excited me. It actually excited me surprisingly more than all the other episodes just because of what it's building up to. But yeah, that's your warning. Spoilers beyond this point. Let's get into it. So first off, I just want to talk a little backtracking about the episodes. I feel like the last episode that we got where Sophia killed her family was nuts. Absolutely nuts. Bonkers. I also loved the whole Arkham flashback of her, going through the moments, reliving all those things so we can really root for her now. Sophia is my favorite character in this show now. Without a doubt, she's the shit. She's the bee's knees. Sophia, man, that is it's hard to root for the Penguin when Sophia is such a good actress and also just a really cool character that they're building her up. But let's get into the Penguin as well. What this whole episode was leading to, so Sophia is now, killed her family. She's running shit. She kills Johnny. She shoots him in the head. Yeah, that was awesome. Gives all the money to her goons, her new crew now. She's making moves and I'm loving every minute of it. She's doing an amazing job. She's so good. And I love this show and I love where it's going, and, it ends with, her making a deal, trying to make a deal with Maroney's. Well, the one Maroney, because Penguin also fried his wife and his son. So, yeah. In the process, he destroyed all of his mushrooms, which was a really big hit. But by the end, I just want to talk about this end because it's building up. I had no idea that when we saw the Batman that he was that new, that the Batman was that new. And you kind of got senses in it in the movie. But pretty much what this episode builds up to is Penguin's origin. It really builds up to his underground base that they even took from Michael Keaton too, because in Michael Keaton's Batman, Penguin's living in the sewers, man. So it's not necessarily the sewers, but it's the underground trolleys that were abandoned. And I was so excited. Those cogs started to turn in Oz's head. That's leading to, where he built his whole empire. His whole empire is going to start being built underground. And I'm just loving the direction that they're going. I'm still rooting for Sophia. It's really interesting how this show does it because it's making me root for Sophia and also Oz at the same time, even though Sophia's going to try to kill him. But, we know the show is called The Penguin. So we don't know if that's going to happen, but I'm excited to see what happens next. I'm really excited about what Oz is doing. The generator he finds and he starts having the power down there and he's just, it's just really iconic moment being a Batman fan, being a DC super fan, especially with Batman, seeing him really step into this origin, really showing this origin of the Penguin in a different way. And I was waiting for it. I was waiting for when are we getting this Penguin that we know? The Penguin that we are starting to get a glimpse of was all in this episode. I feel like everything that happened in this episode was Penguin making moves, Sophia making moves, and it's like a game of chess. It feels like between Sophia and Penguin, really, and it's just awesome to see how this is taking place. And I had no idea though, like Penguin was this low in his origin story when this show started, if that makes sense. I didn't know, like, when I was watching the Batman, that the Penguin was that low on the bracket. So it was really cool seeing this build up to episode 5. And I know we have more episodes, but now his operation's coming, it's running. It's going to be great to see, to build his empire underground where no one knows, really become the Penguin that we know and love from the comics and from the old movies. And oh man, it's going to be awesome. And the acting, I just want to praise the acting again, because the acting's just great. Everything that's happening with this, Penguin, Sophia, Oz, all of them are killing it. The show is killing it. There's not one thing I dislike about this show. There's not one thing I've disliked about this show since it's been on. It's been great from start to finish, and it just keeps you, man, it just keeps you hooked. Just when I was like, all right, Sophia's the shit, now Oz is the shit again, because now I'm rooting for Oz after this episode, just because of, it's so iconic to see him start to really set the ground for ultimately what's going to be his underground empire. It's going to be there. He's going to run the city from underground, and, Sophia's not going to be able to find him or have a really difficult time finding him. Even if she knows he's underground, she's going to have a hard time going in there and trying to, rat his ass out of there. But it's just dope. I'm so excited to see what's happening next with this show. And I just love every second of it. Oh, man. But yeah, like, I am really stoked for what's coming next in this show. And another things I want to mention is, like, when Sophia killed Johnny, that whole buildup was epic as well. I kind of brushed over that earlier because I wanted to get into the nitty gritty of, the whole underground empire that Oz is starting to set the foundations of. It's alluding to and starting to foreshadow that in this episode at the end. But Sophia, man, like, wow. And I love what they did in the last episode, episode 4, really building her story and realizing why she is the way she is. Because then you can still root for her. Like, she can do the most, I don't care what she does, she can do the most, like, gangster ass shit now, and I'm still rooting for her. She can do the most off the wall shit, and I'm still rooting for her, just because of how they built her character so well in the last episode. I mean, she's running shit. She's my favorite character by far. By far. Like, don't get me wrong, I like all the other characters, but Sophia is killing it. She's still in the show. Oh, wow. It's really awesome to be watching this show. I never even thought I would enjoy this show anywhere near as much as I do. I like it more than the movie, and I actually love the movie, The Batman. But yeah, this is just great. This is awesome for DC. This is the only thing I really have to be excited about DC moving forward. This is just a really good time for DC. I love everything they're doing, and huge fan of DC. Don't get me wrong, I love Marvel, but growing up, I've always been a huge DC guy. Since I first read my first Batman comic, I was instantly hooked. I liked the grittier stories. I liked the realer stories that DC was offering me over Marvel. That's just how it is. So I'm a huge DC nerd, fanboy, And it's just good to see this. We needed some wins. You know what I mean? Everyone's trashing on Joker still, and I love it still, but it's not doing too hot. It's not doing too hot. DC's not doing too hot right now. But we got this show. This show is my saving grace in DC. I'm able to really get something I never thought I needed. And because I am so surprised by how this show is going, it's becoming one of my favorite shows, probably ever, just because of how it's building up. And I thought I was going to get this from Gotham and all these other shows that, try to do what the Penguin is starting to set up in the DC universe. But oh man, this wins by a long shot. By a long shot. Like, you don't even have to be a DC fan to love this shit out of this show. If you haven't watched any of this and you're still watching the spoilers, go watch them for yourself. Like, if you're still with me and you haven't seen a single episode, like, go watch it. You're missing out bad. And I don't watch a lot of shows, really. I don't really, watch a lot of shows. I do movie reviews. I watch anime. But for the most part, I don't do a lot of shows lately. This is the only one that's got me hooked. And I can't stand that I have to wait another damn week. What the hell's up with that? I'm just used to Netflix, I guess, putting out the whole season at once. Like Stranger Things, just being able to binge watch Stranger Things from start to finish. But I kind of like it because now I have something to look forward to next Sunday. But I didn't know until this Sunday that it didn't start until later on. And I was all ready to watch this shit early in the morning. I was like, let's get my Penguin in, around like noon, around lunch. I was going to watch this show. Nope, not released yet. Oh man, I was tilted waiting for this show. I was impatient as fuck. I was like a kid on Christmas Eve waiting for this episode, especially after the buildup of the last episode. I mean, wow, that is... I didn't even think they were able to top it, and they did. They topped the last episode. 4 is my second favorite episode. This is my first, just because of the buildup with Oz and everything with the tunnels. Wow, it's really good to see these characters be able to develop in a show rather than in a movie. I feel like they're able to draw out these characters more, and we're able to feel more for these characters more than we could get from a Batman movie or even like a Penguin movie. This is the right way to do it, and I hope they build a whole universe off of this Penguin series. I really do. I hope they build not just that collaborate with the new Batman that's coming out, but I hope they make other shows that are all tied into this universe. I'm here for it. I'm here for this universe now. Even if you weren't a fan of the Batman movie, if you ain't here for this universe after this Penguin shit, there's just no hope for you. Go back to Marvel and go back to their movies or something. But as a DC fanboy, this is like the best thing that could ever happen to a DC fan. I feel like this is our biggest win we've had in a long time. And now it's here. And I hope it keeps going, and I hope they don't stop it. I hope they keep nailing it. Every time, every episode, they're knocking this shit out of the park. Every episode. They're straight knocking this shit out of the park. And I'm just like, when are they going to drop the ball? It's DC. When are they going to drop the ball? It always happens with DC. They always drop the ball eventually. Man, I don't think they're going to drop the ball. I am getting my hopes up right now. I'm going to get my hopes up. I can't wait for more of this. And I also can't wait for what this is all building up to. Like, not just what's building up in the show, but what this means for DC and the DC universe that they're building. This Batman, I should call it the Batman verse. I hope they keep going with it. The Penguin verse, does that sound better? Yeah, we'll go with the Penguin verse for now till we see a little more of the Batman. But right now this is the Penguin show and the Sophia show. Shit, this is good. I never thought I would care about the side characters more than I already did, if that makes sense. I never thought I could care about the Penguin more than I already cared about the Penguin. This show's doing it, bro. Like, this show is literally making me feel like a kid again, bringing me like excitement in ways that I haven't got since I was a kid. For DC, man, I'm proud of DC. I'm proud of this show. I'm proud of everything that's going on with this. I praise everybody who's worked on this, who's touched this, who's even spoken about this. Anything that's tied to this. If you've played a part in the creation of this show, pat yourself on the back. You deserve a medal. You deserve a cookie. We're here. It's happening. And I just want to say it's a good time. It's a good time for DC fans. It's about time for us. It is about time, man, that we get a win. Other than, the Joker, which was great. But then, we get the second Joker, who's everyone talking shit. But, you can't really say shit about this. I don't think. And if you do, I'm not going to listen. So I don't really care. Just keep, please, making this universe and drawing out these characters and fleshing out this world and making everyone start loving these characters. People who aren't DC fans. Man, my wife loves this show and she doesn't even care. She doesn't even fuck with DC like that. But now we here. And it just feels great. It feels great to be here giving this review right after I watched the episode. And it's not really a review. It's just a discussion. Just a fan talking and nerdgasming all over this camera. Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. Because this is great. This is great. Everything about this show is great. Keep it up. I'm just glad that other people are going to enjoy this as much as I'm going to enjoy this. I hope there's other DC fans, and not even DC fans. I hope there's Marvel fans. I hope there's not even comic book fans that love this show. Like, they just think this is a good show, because even if I wasn't a hardcore DC nerd, I think I would love this show. And it would probably make me a DC fan. But fortunately, I was blessed to stumble upon some comics when I was younger and really get the gritty darkness of those comics and Batman universe and Two-Face, all of them. I mean, I can't wait. Hopefully we get some Two-Face. Hopefully we get all that stuff in this universe. We know the Joker universe is dead. Spoiler if you haven't seen that. But so that Joker universe is dead. This is the universe that DC needs. This is the universe I'm here for. Yeah. And speaking of Joker, it should only had one film anyways. So I'm glad that's over and we're able to move on to better things for DC. Because overall, I just want DC to succeed. I want Batman to succeed. I want the characters I fell in love with as a kid make other people fall in love with them now. And I think that's what this show is doing. It's showing that even a comic book show can actually be like hardcore. This is the only comic book show that's like real hardcore. Don't get me wrong. We have, Arrow and the Arrowverse. But this shits on those even. And I love those. This shits on all of that. And, I'm not going to get too far ahead of myself, but I'm just here to say we're here to stay. DC, assemble. DC assemble. That's too funny. But yeah, I really want to know what you guys think. Do you like DC? Have you always liked DC? Do you love this show? Anything. Talk to me. I'm lonely in the comments down below. But that's pretty much it for me. Comment some if you want to. If you feel like talking, chatting about this film or this show, or even the Batman film, anything. It's all connected. I'm here for DC. Anything, any discussions. And it's our time. It's our time, bro. It's our time. All right, till next time, I'm out.